కాదు సార్. సార్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ ADR సార్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ డైరెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ రీసెర్చ్ మేడం.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, shall we start, sir? 29.
Yeah, okay.
Madam, good morning, madam. A very good morning to one and all, to all the participants from Acharya Engineering Agriculture University, Agri-Business Incubation Center. So on the eve of Azadi ka Amrit Mahostav, we are organizing this national webinar on Operation Research Management in Agriculture. And I welcome our Director of Research, Madam Dr. L. Prashanthi Garu for this program. And I also welcome Associate Director of Research, Dr. P. Rajshekar sir, for this program. And I welcome all the participants from different states of the country. Nearly we got registrations from 23 different states. Maybe slowly they will be joining in the meantime. So we'll be starting the program, sir. Now it is to our Associate Director of Research. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. So this is Associate Director of Research, Dr. P. Rajshekar. So I invite our Honorable respected Director of Research, Madam Prashanthi Garu, for this national webinar on Operations Research Management. So we got a tremendous response for this national webinar with more than 2,203 registrations from more than 23 states. So the highlight is even 2 registrations we got from USA, United States of America. So it shows the interest of the participants to participate in this particular national webinar. So mainly this webinar, what we are organizing is Operations Research Management in Agriculture. So why we do is, so majority of the farmers or individuals cannot attempt to do research because of the time constraint as well as the money involved in doing such a research. So the onus is on the scientist, agriculture scientist, to conduct this research. So in this particular research management projects, we formulate initially based on the problems of the farmers. We have a model for that. We see what are the resources needed for that particular project. Then we formulate, then we implement. Then finally some data will be generated that has to be fitted into a implementable model into the farmers' fields. So a lot of raw data will be generated by doing the operation research management, but as such it is not useful. So it has to be molded and perfected into a working model, so that everything will be done by the scientists, so that farmers can readily choose which model they want. Because throughout India, so many scientists are working on this particular research management activities. So many situations will be there, so many zones will be there. So the farmers have got a choice according to their situation, which model they can take up and implement in their farming activities, which is beneficial for them. Apart from having a working model, that has to be tested also. So again, farmers cannot venture into testing of their own. For that also, we are giving this working models to different extension functionaries like Krishi Vignan Kendras, even of NGOs and everybody. So they will be going in terms of on-farm trials, frontline demonstration, everything. So any refinements will be carried out after their feedback from the extension functionaries, so that a perfect model will be available, ready-made to the farmers. So they can choose wisely which model fits them perfectly in their farming situation, so that no time is lost and no money of there is lost. So that is the one advantage of this operation research management. Then apart from that, in order to increase the productivity, production of the country as a whole, so we have to do a lot of research, operation research. So we got so many constraints in formulating a project, like production constraints, then biotic stresses, abiotic stresses, everything will come in our way. So we have to formulate a comprehensive, cohesive management strategy to take up research, and finally we give a consolidated package. So like that, we will be giving a wholesome package, a integrated approach for increasing the production and the productivity of this particular crop as such. So I hope this particular operation research management webinar will throw different avenues and models. The speaker will give you several models how to do and conduct this operation research management, which will be useful to all the participants, I believe. So they can take advantage of this particular national webinar. And I hope you have a wonderful insights and better knowledge, added knowledge by having this webinar and listening to the guest speakers lecture. So I wholeheartedly invite all the participants to actually interact after the guest lecture, so that we can have some fruitful discussions at the end. Thank you. I once again all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your introductory remarks, sir. Sir, now I request our Honorable Director of Research, Madam, to give her introduction remarks.
Good morning, all. I welcome all to this national webinar on operational research management in agriculture.
Madam, sorry, madam, కొంచెం వాయిస్ స్లోగా వస్తుంది.
ఇప్పుడు సరేనా బాలా?
ఓకే ఓకే మేడం, కానీ ఇంకొంచెం లోనే వస్తుంది.
Welcome once again all to this national webinar on operational research management in agriculture. First of all, I congratulate the principal investigator, Dr. Reddy, for organizing this national seminar. This is a good sign that is totally 223 registrations were and 2 especially from United States of America. And this incubation center started at RERS Tirupati in 2019. Starting from 25, now we have reached 223 registrations. This is a very good sign towards PI efforts. And this is the seminar that is operational research management. We all know that more than 70% of the population in our country is dependent on agriculture, and it is highly influenced by the climate and everything. Even though the several innovations and science ever developed in agriculture has made us tremendous development in this, and also farmers are gaining more importance. This operational research is a study of operations of a farm, productivity and organization, and it must take into an account of operational economics. Operational research can be described as the discipline of applying advanced analytical methods to help making better decisions, and has been around in agricultural management economy. And it also helps researchers, particularly agricultural economists, make better decisions. The importance of conducting research in agriculture is the same as the importance of conducting entire research. So the findings or research results from different disciplines will definitely influence and encourage the farmers and scientists. So this webinar is highly useful to all the registered participants, that is agricultural students, university staff, agri-entrepreneurs and agricultural economists. Knowing more about the operational research management in agriculture will certainly help, and today's webinar will definitely enlighten all the 223 recipients registration and others also. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and the seminar will success in today's.
Thank you once again, madam, for participating in this national webinar and addressing the participants. Thank you very much. And before going to the speaker, I will just introduce the speaker. The today's expert speaker is Dr. S. Subba Reddy sir, who is a retired professor from the Department of Agriculture Economics, SV Agriculture College, Tirupati, from Acharya Engineering Agriculture University. So Sir has served nearly 35 years, out of which he served in teaching for 25 years and then 10 years in research. And then even the great thing is, even after retirement, he served 10 years in teaching to students. And then he has completed a PhD from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University on research in farm planning and risk management. Sir is a renowned author of two popular books, Agricultural Economics and Agricultural Finance and Management, where he has written these books in the context of Indian agriculture and in a very easy way of understanding, especially for the benefit of the students. And he has also served 2 years as a professor at Alemiya University in Ethiopia. And even he has guided PhD students and then MSc students in different institutions. He has published 30 research papers in different Indian reputed journals. So he's also engaged in conducting research in different aspects of agricultural economics. And he was the recipient of a Rotary Medal during his doctoral program also. So with a vast experience of Dr. S. Subba Reddy sir, and being an author of the two popular books, I hope that today's deliberations will be very useful for the participants to understand the operations research management, and they can even get clarified at the end of the program. I welcome Dr. S. Subba Reddy sir for this program. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Hussein.
Sir, a bit louder, sir. You can take the class now.
Oh, dear participants, I am Subba Reddy, the retired professor in the Department of Agricultural Economics, SV Agricultural College, Tirupati. Already my biodata was presented by my colleague, Hussein Reddy. I am very thankful to organizers for giving me this opportunity to present a class on operation research methods or techniques. So these research methods and techniques, they provide farm plans at micro level as well as macro level, at individual level, at a national level, or even world level. So like that, but what is important to the planner is a planning process is always concerned with the decision problems, like what to produce, how much to use, and what to sell, what type of technology should be used, and all these problems are identified at micro level, and then planning is done. Farm plans are made from using the models, mathematical models. So today we will try to learn about linear programming method, which is one of the important tool in the operation research techniques. So here the plans are made basically to provide a solution to the decision problems, like what combination of resources should be used given the resources and crop products, crop activities at micro level and macro level. So macro level problems are also very difficult to solve. It is not, but people using the model and all, they have invented many machines and technologies. And so all the models, they are aimed at maximizing the net profit or minimizing the cost. So cost minimization and profit maximization are the two important goals in the operation research technique, particularly which considers all the decision problems, like what to produce and all. So we take data. What is important here is We have to collect data from the farmers, from the research stations, and advanced technology from book sources and other things, which are already implemented and suitable to the farmers at micro level. So the micro level problems are given more important because many farmers are nearly 60% of our population is small and marginal farmers. So based on this, the importance is they solving their problems at micro level assumes great importance, and this is the task given to us, and in that directions operation research methods are being taught to solve the decision problems. Actually, to solve the decision problems at micro level, we have 5 functions. They are planning, organizing, directing, coordination, and control. So when all these different management tools are efficiently used, and particularly the planning function, organizing function assumes great importance, though other functions are not of that importance. But everything is important to get precision data and all. So the main task is proper planning and implement. According to plan, plans are carefully prepared based on the realistic data, and then they are implemented through extension agencies and providing all the necessary help and all. This is what we are doing at the national level. So these cost minimization techniques is minimizing the concern is minimizing the cost. That is by using a right proportion of the right mixture of the judicious use of resources such as water, pesticides, fertilizers, farmyard manure, etc. at the micro level. And then minimizing the cost means using the exact quantity of resources in a desired way as revealed by the operation research techniques. So the objective of operation research techniques is to provide a typical farm plans at micro level as well as macro level. Macro level farm plans are meant for the country's economic development. Micro level farm plans are implemented for the farmers' welfare. So this is what is important here. So we have to now let us go into how the model, particularly models like particularly the linear programming model is used to find the solution to the problems of how to maximize net profit or net income or gross margins. So net income means that is gross income minus gross income means here gross income minus variable cost is gross margins. Gross income minus total cost is net profit or net income. Similarly, the cost minimization occurs only variable costs vary with the level of production. When the variable costs such as seed cost, fertilizer cost, pesticide cost, farmyard manure cost, labor cost, machinery use cost, etc. are all specified and they are subtracted from the gross income. So which is gross income is obtained particularly output per unit of per unit area and cost per unit area are worked out. So variable cost is deducted from the gross income to arrive at gross margins for crops and livestock products. So this is every economist will be knowing this. What are the important costs? That is, variable costs are play an important role in the decision making process, particularly in identifying the problems of the farmer. And profits are also maximized when the resources are judiciously used. That is, using the input in the requisite form. In that way, by profit is maximized So here identifying which resource should be combined with other resources, and what proportion and mix should be there in the farm plan so that profit is maximized. So this solution, that is how much of labor should be used, how much of technology should be used, how much of seed should be used, what variety, all that is varietal preference based on profit maximization. That in the profit maximization, we always choose the variety which is giving higher profit, and we always aim at the cost minimization when you while using the resource use. So like that, optimal plans are generated for typical farms. Typical farm means a farm which is most occurrently, most frequently occurring in the real world, real farming situations. So that is particularly typical farms would be more, that is every typical farm is discrete in nature and unique, is having a unique characteristics, particularly regarding the getting the efficiency well and adapting the new technology. A typical farm is occurring mostly in the population. So that is a typical farm aims at particularly maximizing the income and minimizing the cost. So all these things are important. So now let us go to linear programming. That is here the objective function of the typical farm is maximization of net income or cost minimization achieved through optimal plan generated from its solution. Hence, the method of determining the best optimal plan for a given farm under the alternative farm plans, under alternative available farm plans, the plan which gives maximum profit or minimum cost should be always given preference for adoption process. So this is more important. So we use here we will go directly into the component of the LP model, linear programming. So the linearity means there is no power function. That is x1, x2, x3 are the crop activities, including the developed crops as revealed from the research. So that is the the crop which are successful and suitable to a particular environment must be always chosen based on the experience of the farmer while choosing the real activity. Real activities include here cereal crops, pulse crops, oil seeds crops, commercial crops, and livestock activities also there. So all the livestock animals, buffaloes, cows, goats, sheep, fishes, all these things are considered in the LP model as in the objective function. So in the objective function, for the real activities, they are also called as decision variables. In these decision variables, they tell about how much profit they are giving per unit of resource, that is per unit area, 1 hectare. Generally, all profits and costs are worked out for on hectare basis unit area. In some plants, per unit of product, per quintal or per ton, it is made based on the convenience of the planner. So the objective function specifies that is profits or costs per unit area. Generally, per unit area is considered as a most relevant one and usually in practice. See the objective function per hectare. The objective function deals with the profit maximization in case of maximization problem. Objective function deals with the cost minimization, that is in case of minimization model. So LP, the model is said to be linear programming because there is no power term in all the real activities or the crop activities. There is no linear form. There is no power form. Only linearity assumption is observed. Hence the name linear programming method. That is, power forms are not considered for the decision variables in the objective function of the model. Only linearity is considered, hence the name linear programming. Second, so the following assumptions are very important in order to uphold the results of the programming models, that is linear programming models. In the basic assumptions are related to the additivity of the resources and activities. Additivity means individual requirements or individual profit levels are equal to the sum of the profit level. That is additivity. Addition activity is incorporated in the model to arrive at optimal plans. So addition, the mathematical operation addition is followed. Hence, this assumption upholds in the model. So that is without these assumptions. Generally, we call them assumptions which are relevant to uphold in order to avoid criticism of the model. So we make assumptions in economics. Under these assumptions are called ceteris paribus assumptions. Ceteris paribus assumptions means other things remaining constant. So only the variables which are affecting a particular model are considered. Others are kept at constant manner, means other variables affecting the decision making, they are kept aside. So additivity of the model means addition of the resources or subtraction of the, this is basic operation. So this holds good, the addition holds good, this property holds good for crop resources and crop activities. Linearity of the objective function means without any power form, all are raised to the power 1. Non-negativity means positivity of the decision variables. That is, here decision variables are specified with the notation x1, x2, x3, xj. 1 is equal to j is equal to 1 to n variables. Sources. This is another mathematical divisions. That is 2 point, that is fractional units are allowed in the model, hence divisibility assumptions hold good in this case. Finiteness means finiteness of the activities and resource restrictions in the LP model. Finiteness means limitedness, constraint. That is for every resource or for a number of activities also, there is a limitness. Fixed limit is fixed, and within that limit only the model considers the optimization process. Optimization process particularly deals with the cost minimization or profit maximization. So that is profit maximization due to adoption of crop activities or cost minimization due to adoption of resource selection. Then proportionality of activities means suppose 1 hectare of crop requires say 100 laborers, then 2 acres of 2 hectares of the crop requires that is double. 3 hectares means triple. So like that the proportionality assumption holds good in solving the model. Then last assumption is a single value expectation. Single value expectation means all the data concerning the model is it true and absolute. It is realistic data is considered. So no false data used. If you use false data for the model, model gives false results, hence it cannot be accepted. So to accept the model and all, care should be taken to see that true data from the farmers, from the research stations, from the books and other things, published data from the experienced people, from the people who are interested in the welfare of the other people, and also that is getting true data, and particularly in India, which is very much diversified and all, because they are most of the population is uneducated and all, so they are not maintaining any records. In the absence of records and all, they depend on oral memory, and they will tell something when we ask. So how to get the correct data and all, which is adapted by the farmer. It is a challenging task. All the care should be taken to get true data from the farmers, and then this data should be incorporated in the model. So that is about single value expectation. So all these model assumptions are in economics or any research, assumptions are very important to throw meaning and all. So assumptions are very important. So these 7 assumptions hold good in upholding the results of the linear programming models. So in the linear programming model, linearity assumption is more important, and other 6 assumptions are also important to bring the results, correct results into our adoption process. So now let us know some basic concepts regarding linear programming model. So the basic assumptions, so this is divided into activities. Different types of activities are introduced in the objective function of the model. So they are called as real activities. Real activities are related to crop activities, pulse, pulses activities, oil seed activities, commercial crop activities, like that, livestock activities, like that. They are classified under each activities. The successful varieties are also data regarding successful varieties as revealed from research is also considered as one of the real activities in order to pass on to the information to the farmers for adoption process through extension agency. That's why we require extension agency are also important. Research is also important to evolve new varieties and all, which are drought prone, which are pest free, disease free varieties, etc. Technology augmenting research, crop activities and all. So all people, all activities are incorporated. Nothing is wasted. Everything is carefully done. It is useful to the farmer. So if it is carelessly done, it will be harmful to the farmers. So intermediate activities are also introduced sometimes to make the output of the products, crop products. For example, fodder use is intermediate activity. How fodder is consumed by the cattle, and how that fodder is disposed. How much should be kept for cattle use? How much should be disposed to the market so as to maintain the income of the farm? Disposal of activities are also used in order to facilitate the what is called the non-farm use, non-use of the resources in the model. Artificials are used, activities are used in the minimization model in order to get the relevant solutions to the model by adapting the simplex method. So like that, all the crop and livestock products are considered under decision variables. And restraints, in the restraints, we have one is the restraints of the resources, particularly land resources, maybe land resource, labor resource, capital resource, pesticide resource, water resource, etc. are considered. Their demand and supply level, supply coefficients are worked out for typical coefficients, and they are introduced in the model. The model is solved using the simplex method, and then solution is given only when the procedure is followed scientifically through with the help of computers. So simplex method is a simple method of solving the complex problem. That is a simplex method is called simply as a simple way of following a simple method, methodological program. It is called as algorithm. Algorithm means methodology. That is procedure. A procedure is simple, but it solves the problems of complex decisions. That is how to produce, how much to produce, how much of input should be used, how much of crop should be produced. All the decision problems are solved by simplex method, considering the realistic data. Realistic data getting is, though it is challenging, we have to take all the care in getting the accurate data from the research as well as from the efficient farmers, not from inefficient farmers. Data related to inefficient farmers should not be used for the model. Only data which is proven by the research that this data is correct and this finding is correct only when it is asserted through trials and errors and as a research outcome, then only that data related to the crop should be transferred through extension agency to the farmer for adoption process. Otherwise, it is very difficult. So any loophole, optimal solution means it is a two-step procedure is there. In the optimality means it deals with the profit maximization and the cost. The procedure dealing with the optimality is profit maximization, and so two methods are there. So one is if one is solved, other is implied automatically. If profit is maximized, it also means that cost is minimized. Only when cost is minimized, profit is maximized by the use of the crops. So similarly, when profit is maximized, cost is minimized. When cost is minimized, profit is. If one is achieved, other is automatically implied in the achievement. Okay. So this is steps. Now let us know about the steps in the simplex method in solving the LP problem following the simplex method. దీన్ని బట్టి చెప్తాను. Now let us see the table here. The table is real activities, LP format problem. So here maximize profit subject to profit of the crop activities. Here crops are paddy 1, paddy 2 varieties, paddy 1 variety, paddy 2 varieties, groundnut variety. So all are high yielding varieties. So then the disposal activities, they are three. They relate to resources. That is disposal activity of land, labor, and capital. So they are considered in the model. So here real activities are crop activities. For example, for a typical farm, in order to illustrate the procedure and all, we have only simplified the three crops are considered, but in reality, we actually require as many crops as relevant to the farm situation. Suppose if the farmer is growing 10 crops, all the 10 crops information should find in the. Hello? So here we are to simplify the procedure and all, only 3 crops are, but if we want really realistic data and all, whatever the crops are grown by the farmer, by the typical farmer, those varieties, those local and high yielding varieties are considered, and their unit profits, unit cost is measured in figures. They are called here the figures represented in the model relates to quantity levels. So the first land 5 acres are there with the farmer. So here 5 we have put. So this is everything is worked out, both resource requirement and profit levels are worked out. Gross margins are considered. So gross margins means total income. This capital in 100 rupees. Capital resource. We have 3 resources: capital resource, labor resource, land resource. So land is considered in the acres. For 1 acre, for 1 acre, resource levels are indicated here in the column 3, resource levels. That is maximum availability, resource supply levels. What is available with the farm? The typical farm is having 5 acres of land, 180 days of labor at his disposal, and then capital is 50 in and 50 in every unit is considered is 1 unit is equal to 100 rupees. So 50 units means 5,000 rupees. This is 5,000 money ready to invest on the farm on all the 3 crops is 50 hundreds. 50 hundred means 5,000 rupees. Okay. So like that the resource levels for the 3 crops are worked out for they are considered in the as a resource level. So this is 5 acres, 180 labor days, and 5,000 rupees. That is 50 units of capital is available with the farmer. So all these are specified in the column 3 of the section 1 table. Section 1 table, these 3 are considered. These 111 are mentioned. This is a unit, their land requirement is for 1 acre. All the resource coefficients are worked out. So that's why 111 are put here. That is there are paddy under paddy 1, paddy 2, 1, groundnut 2, 1 acres. Land disposable activity is considered here as 1. So here it is because the disposal activities are there 3 constraints are there, 3 resources. So like 3 by 3 disposable matrix is included in order to find a feasible solution for the given problem, maximization problem. So in the maximization problem, to solve the problem, what is required is there are 3 constraints are there, 3 resources are considered in the matrix form. So the diagonal elements are placed in the as 1 in this matrix. Half the diagonal elements are indicated with zeros. Here zeros are there. Only diagonal indicates are that is called, it is a unit identity matrix. So diagonal representation, the size is here 3 by 3, 3 rows, 3 columns. Diagonal elements with 1, 1, 1. Half diagonal elements with 0, 0. So like that, suppose if there are 4 resources are there, 4 by 4 should be used to find out particularly non-usable resources. These disposable activities provides a initial basic feasible solution to the problem. It starts the problem, how to solve, and this is the first step, introducing the disposable activity in the model. Then net prices objective function coefficient are indicated with the, that is for they are worked out gross margins. They are called as gross margins. Gross margin by definition they are called as a per acre, that is gross income minus variable cost is a gross margin. They are worked out and all. The net price is considered 1 unit is equal to 100 rupees. So here 30 units means for paddy one variety, 28 units for paddy 2, and groundnut for 26 units. 1 unit is equal to 100 rupees here. So it is worked out using budgeting tool, that is from gross incomes are first worked out by collecting data from the farmer, and the gross income means the output quantity, output price, unit price. So that is the gross income. Variable cost, that is resource cost, are in the, their resource cost levels are excluded from the gross income to arrive at gross margin. So for paddy crop, that is 3,000 rupees is the profit. Gross margin means profit. So 30, 28, 26 are the what is called gross margins per acre of the crop. Under disposable activities, we are keeping all the three zeros here. So this is what is called as because these variables are allowed to enter the matrix and all, so they are kept at 0 level to provide basic feasible solution. Then opportunities costs are considered. Here the net price column, because under disposable activities for the resources, land, labor, capital, they are all zeros. Hence the in the section 1 under first column, the net price row, net price column, so all zeros are given in the section 1 table. So this is what is called. So opportunities costs are also under real crop activities, under disposable activities all are zeros because there is no opportunity cost. We are not allowing the crop activities or resources into the model, hence first 0. So the opportunity cost row is called as a CJ row. This is a gross margin row is called as CJ row. See, shadow prices are worked out from the, that is the opportunity cost row. From the opportunity cost row, net price row coefficients are subtracted and they are placed in the shadow price row. Shadow price means marginal value products. Shadow prices are worked out, that is 0 minus net price is so 0 ZJ row minus C0, that is 0 minus 30 is equal to minus 30, 0 minus 28 minus 28, like that we have worked out in the ZJ. Then here how to work out opportunity cost means here all zeros are there. So here 0 into 1 0, 0 into 90 0, plus 0 into 20 0. So all zeros are there, hence opportunity cost is 0 here. Like that all the coefficients in the columns under paddy 1 column, paddy 2 column, paddy 3 column are multiplied by the column 1 figures zeros. Hence all zeros multiplied, it becomes 0. Hence, we put opportunity cost in the section 1. All are indicated with the 0 values here. You understand? So we have put here. From this ZJ row, opportunity cost row. So what do you mean by in economics opportunity cost means? It is the value of the resource as the next best alternative cost. So that is called the value of the resource in the next best alternative. Use is opportunity cost. So that is here it is 0 in this model, linear programming model. Shadow prices are worked out because from the zeros we are subtracting the net prices. So all the shadow prices in the section 1 table is -1. The largest number is here among 30, 28, 26. Largest is number is 30. So hence we put here asterisk is put here. Then worked. This is called indicated. Star is indicated in the 90 because. Then next one, once outgoing column is identified, that is column number 4 in the table. Paddy activity is the net incoming activity and all. And with regard to selection of the row, we have to work out ratio column in the table. That is ratio column is worked out considering the resource level column, then outgoing column. Coefficients in the resource column, that is column number 3, and coefficients in the column 4, that is paddy activity. So this is here. So 5 divided by 1, here it is 5. Then 180 divided by 90, here 2 is indicated. Then 50 into 20, it is 50 by 2.5. Among these 3 elements, the least number is 2. Here 5, here 2, here 2.5. So 2 is the minimum number. So key element is identified by asterisk mark. So here because it corresponds to second row of the section 1. This is section 1 corresponds. Now this row is the outgoing row, outgoing column, outgoing row. It is entered in this column. So then next step is divide this is called what is called labor column. Labor row is the outgoing row here. They are indicated in the red ink. So here all the coefficients in the red ink of the red ink are divided by the key element. Here 90 is the key element. Understand? So here all the coefficients which are marked as red, they are divided by the 90. So we get the coefficients for the second column, paddy 1 column, paddy 1 row. That is called net price is coefficient is 30. Here we have put 2 because here it is 30 because this is coming here. This transformation of this key row dividing all the coefficients by 90, we get this row. That is a paddy x1 row. This is the what is called incoming row for the section 2. Section 2 incoming row is now is specified a, that is 180 divided by 90 is 2. Okay. So then 90 by 90 is 1. 80 by 90 is 8 by 9. 70 by 9 is 7 by 9. 0 by this one is 1. 0. Here 1 by 90 is 190. 1 by 90. Here 0. So like that 0 by something in economics, in mathematics, 0 by something is 0. Okay, brother. So like that, the key row is transformed and then placed in the along with the net price and placed in section 1 as row 2, and it is named as a paddy x1. Paddy x1. Please see the very carefully, otherwise you will get confused. Next, our task lies in transforming the other coefficients of the section table. That is section 1. In section 1 coefficient, the row, section row, the first row indicates this 5, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. These coefficients should be transformed using the following procedure. So that is called as this what is called transformed row coefficients should be multiplied by the 1 and then subtracted. The coefficients are subtracted here. So 5 minus 3 into 1, here 3. Okay, 5 minus 3, here 3 is there. Because 5, 3, they are corresponded, same column. So here we put here 3. 3 how we have read? Here 5 minus 3 into 1. That is, this 1 is in the first row of the fourth column, outgoing column, in the section 1. Second one is 20 is the, so these figures are which are indicated with the yellow color. This is outgoing column figure should be correct. And the transformed coefficients key row figures are considered to transform the other variables. Okay. So here 0, 0 comes because 1 divided by 1 minus 0, 1 minus 1 into 1 is equal to 0. 1 minus 1 into 1 is 0. Similarly, 20 minus 20 into 1 is 0. So like that, the coefficients are worked out for the first row, first column, and then they are placed here in this section 2, first row. Section 2, first row. These are the figures obtained. Then similarly, based on these coefficients, these values are multiplied by second row coefficients are multiplied by the first row figures. This one coefficient, second row that is from the third row, that is 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. That's why we have put here. Similarly, 50 minus 2 into 20 is 40. 50 minus 40 is equal to 10. So like that, following the same procedure for computation of other transformations of the first row in the section 1, first row of the third row of the section 1, they are transformed under the resultant values or coefficients are placed in the first row, where the first row is transformed here. First row of the section 1 transformed values are given in the first row. Third row coefficients when transformed, it is placed in the third row. So like that, procedure is repeated. So iterated means repeated. Same procedure is repeated and the section 2 coefficients are obtained. Again work out using the net price these values, and then opportunity costs are worked out here. For the second row section 2, the opportunity cost is here second row cost, it is 26 2 by 3, because here 30 into 1, 30 is there, 30 minus 26.23. So that is here 30 multiplied by 88 by 8 by 9. It gives you 26 2 by 3. 26 to 2 by 3 is worked out and placed in opportunity cost. So opportunity cost, from the opportunity cost, CJ row coefficients are subtracted to arrive the shadow price row. Shadow price row again here, it is outgoing column is identified based on highest value. The here shadow price row, that is the highest value is 2 by 3. This value is the highest row. Correspondingly, this column is the key outgoing column for the next section, and it is worked out. Again, minimum ratio is worked out. That is the resource coefficients, resource column coefficients in section 2. Resource coefficient 3 divided by 2 by 9 is 13.5. 2 divided by 7 by 9 is equal to 2.57. 10 divided by 85 by 9 is equal to, among these three figures, this 1.05, which is indicated with the red ink, this is considered as the lowest positive figure. So against this one, key star mark is placed with red. So here it is the key element. Then transform the coefficients is the key element by dividing 10 divided by 85 by 9. You understand? Then you put here, because third row here. Here it is in this section 2, third row, 10 we are dividing. 10 divided by 85 9 is the value is 1.0588. Like that, 0 divided by this one is here 0. 2 by 9 divided by 85 by 9 is equal to 2 by 85. Here 1. So 85 by 9 divided by 9 by 85. And it gets only 1. So like that, this row is identified. Key element is transformed. Again, we have to follow the same procedure for transformation of other procedure as observed in the this one in the section 1 table. Here also these two rows are modified same the simplex procedure and all, and these values are obtained. Okay, these two values. Again here also it is repeated. Key element is considered, and again these key row coefficients are classified and all based on the minimum value of ratio column of section 3, and then the maximum value of ZJ minus C0, that is the minus value is here. Based on these two things, this figure coincides at this cell. So that is 74 divided by 85 is the key element for the section 3. So following the same procedure, again we have received this one. Resource levels are now changed here. So resource levels are here under land constraint 2.6216. It is indicated in red ink. So this is 2.6296. See, the shadow price of the land is 0. That is land should not be used for the production activity. So here land should be kept fallow rather than cultivation, because land is being used for inefficient production. That's why this much fallow land is should be allowed. It is saying so. In science, in research also, we are saying that when the costs are more, in profits are less, it is better not to cultivate. Kada? So like that, this much fallow land should be given. This one here, so that's why, because shadow price is 0 for land, So here this much should be kept as follow. This is the recommendation of the linear programming model. Then paddy should be used to the extent of 1.35 acres. Paddy. Groundnut should be used to the extent of 1.027 acres. So this is the acreage under the different crops. This should be kept fallow. This should be the acreage under the crops. This is the value generated. కొంచెం పైకి పోవాలా the shadow price for labor is 0.3141. For every additional unit increase in the of labor, for every additional one labor increase in the farm plan would give 31.41 means in terms of 100 that is 31 rupees 41 paisa. For one labor 31 rupees is the profit. So like that it is saying for capital use for every 1 rupee 100 rupees investment 275 rupees profit is obtained. That is 2.75. Because 1 unit we have considered in the model, 1 unit is capital. Here 1 unit is equal to 100 rupees. So that's why here we have to multiply here 2.7529 multiplied by 100 means 275 rupees 29. Okay. This is for one labor 31 rupees point 31.41 is the marginal value product of the labor, marginal profit. So this is the marginal profit for 1 year for 100 rupees. So okay. So like that here this is again another remark we can make here. In the shadow price under paddy 1, the shadow price is 1.76. This means if paddy 1 is incorporated in the model, in the LP models, it is forced, then income would be reduced by 17 rupees 64. For 1 acre, 1,764 would be reduced if paddy 1 is included in the farm plan. So like that the LP model gives the what level of crop should be used as revealed in the what is called in the ZJ minus C0 and all. So the total profit from the farm plan is 64.54 means 6,454 by just cultivating 2.5 acres. He will be getting 60. See, that is into 100 means 6,454. Because 1 unit is considered as a here 100 rupees. So it should be multiplied by 100. So 6,454 rupees is the profit from the farm as a whole. Typical farm. So this is the farm plan. Like that, this in the farm plan, what is important here is the findings from the research, the data from the efficient farmer should be used in the model for adoption process. If the data is correct, the made up model is correct. If the data is wrong, the model will not be adapted. So, but anyway, adoption process depends on many factors, but profit and cost are the very important components of the adoption process. This should be borne in my mind by the extension agencies. Okay. Next. So difficulties in solving the problem is 4 difficulties are there generally. First is the infeasibility problem. Infeasibility problem says that the wrong specification of the constraints in the resources. That is AIJ matrix that is wrongly specified infeasibility. Instead of putting greater than equal to in the constraint problem, we will put less than equal to or is equal to. Like that, if you put is equal to, it is very dangerous. It leads to wrong specification, not following the logic of the model, and violating the assumptions results in what? Not getting the solution. So if you are not getting the unique solution means only one solution to the problem. That solution should satisfy all the constraints in the problem. Here constraints are 3 types. One is related to land use. The second one is related to capital use. Third one related to labor use. So all these constraints should be carefully divided with right data and signs. That is the constraints are built with what is called less than, greater than, equal to. 3 signs are used. So putting the right sign in the case of maximization, it should be put to most probable one is putting less than equal to. In case of minimization problem, greater than equal to. So this is the logic and principles underlined in the simplex method. If this is violated, if this logic is not followed, then problem results instead of getting results, it will not get any result. There is no solution to the problem. I cannot answer like that. Solution comes to, that is called as infeasibility. Second one is unboundedness. That is not specifying the model with the correct coefficients. Coefficients means figures, elements, or numericals. So this is the numbers they are called as. So all the coefficients are the elements. If they are not correctly specified, and sometimes they are overestimated, sometimes they are underestimated, then matching will not be possible. Excessive use or underuse of the resource, if it is there, that is demand for resources indicated by AIJ matrix. Supplies are indicated by the BIE matrix. So that is due to what is called differences in the demand and supply scenario, we get unboundedness problem. The problem cannot be solved if that problem is not solved, and instead it is giving more, sometimes more giving more solution due to improper indication of the model. Degeneracy means due to type problem, same result you will get irrespective of changing the number. The problem cannot be further, so the problem cannot found solution and all, and it stops at some level. In between, it will stop and will say there is no solution. That is called due to tie-up problem. That is having the same value for the coefficients, same number. Tie means same number. That means we cannot select key element because key element says that in the shadow price row, largest negative number, and the ratio column, what is called smallest positive number. If these are not there, same two, instead of having one largest number, we may have degeneracy problem because of same values getting in the ratio column and shadow price row. Shadow price row and all instead of one element, that element appears twice or thrice. Then problem cannot be solved due to generacy. So all these problems should not be there. Correct specification and logic. Logic should be, particularly the assumption should be satisfied while formulating the model. Scaling problem. Scaling problem means unit of measurement should be same. Suppose the profit activity, crop activity of the crops, profit activities are specified in terms of per acre basis. But land is given in the constraint as per hectare. That means there is one on columns you specified per hectare, but on rows you have specified per acre basis. Hectare basis, acre basis. These are not matching. Then interpretation becomes very difficult. So that is called scaling problem. That is correct specification. So whatever you have specified in the objective function should also be specified for the same resource and crop. It should also be specified the same unit of assumption. So 1 unit is equal to 1 acre. Here also under resources 1 acre. You have to put. If it is here in a per hectare basis, here also coefficient should be worked out in the AIJ matrix for hectare basis. Like that, there should be matching. If labor wages are mentioned for 1 labor or 10 laborers as 1 unit, here also 10 laborers are 1 unit. Like that, in the macro level models, scaling problem should be very careful. Otherwise, it will result in aggregation bias. So due to scaling problem, if it is not done, problem cannot be solved. And another thing is logic is missing. Logic in scaling is should be there to ensure it should be ensured in the model so as to get correct results. So correct results means a unique solution. What do you mean by unique solution means? It is a only single answer to the problem. That is called unique. Single answer to the single plan to the entire problem. So that single plan should satisfy all your requirements of the model. So that is called as a unique model. So unique solution when model is correctly specified as we have done it here in the example problem. If there is no other problem, only one solution is there. This much area should be kept under so much crop. This much area should be allotted to so and so crop. Like that plan should be given. This much land should be vacant. Sometimes it happens all the land is not fully used. So we should also ensure that land should be fully used. For this, what we have to do? Your demand should be more, supply should be less. Then only land will be fully used. If demand is less, supply is more, what would happen? Fallow land is indicated as in our problem. You understand? So fallow land is why indicated means due to more supply of land than what is required by the constraints. So like that, the care should be taken and precautions should be taken in the formulation of LP models so as to get a unique solution to the problem. Unique solutions are obtained only when constraints are properly specified. Logic machine for maximization problem use less than symbol less than equal to. For minimization problem use the more than equal to problem. Then only it is correct. So next precautions, defining cropping activities, seasonality. So this is defining crop activities according to resources. That is, where crop activities are specified into local varieties, high yielding varieties separately should be mentioned. You understand? You should not mix local variety with the high yielding variety, because the each variety requirement in terms of inputs, particularly labor requirement, input requirement, seed requirement, fertilizer requirement, FIM requirement, all these capital requirement, they will be different. So when the different requirements are there, then different activities should be in the model. For each high yielding variety evolved by the or high yielding variety, disease resistant varieties, drought resistant varieties. So like that, each variety requires a different level of packages. These packages are specified in terms of costs in the model. And so then when costs are different, when the resource levels are different, you require a different crop. So specify them as a separate crop activity. That is called defining crop. Seasonality, again, season is a crop season is divided into Kharif season, Rabi season, summer season. Then here we have each season is divided, resources are resources based on resources. Kharif season, dryland, wetland. Rabi season, dryland, wetland. Like that it should be further classified, and resources are split in resources are mentioned in the column rows. Activities are mentioned in the columns of the from LP model. Activities are mentioned where in the column model as a decision variables. Resources are mentioned in the AIJ matrix coefficient. Buying and selling activities are also included in the columns. Buying and selling activities. So buying means you are giving money, and all unit cost is specified in the objective function with -1, in the AIJ matrix with -1. Selling activities is +1, in the AIJ matrix +1, like that. Crop rotation practice means generally pulses are rotated with the cereals, or cereals are rotated with the pulses, like that. As indicated by the research, which variety should be rotated with what variety, and all should be indicated. The outgoing column is indicated with minus sign. Incoming crop activity should be indicated with plus sign in the AIJ matrix. So that is about then consumption activities is a transfer activity. Whatever we produce, we consume for family consumption. Hence, it should be plus activity. +1 in the this one. Cash flow constraints is transfer activity, and that is 0 is indicated in the transfer activity. Transfer activity -1, -1 is indicated, and -1 is indicated in the AIJ matrix in the objective function coefficient. So that is cash transfer activities, consumption activity. All these are given. Buying activities with minus sign, selling activity with plus sign, transfer activity with 0, consumption activities with 0. It is consumption activity is nothing but the transfer activity. Now for every problem, primary problem maximization, if you say that prime problem is maximization, its dual will be minimum problem. Both results should be same and all in terms of resource satisfaction or fulfillment of the resource condition. So resource constraints. So here if a problem is how to convert both problems could be solved simultaneously, same results should be getting. The primary problem is maximization problem. In this maximization problem can be converted into minimization problem in the dual by formulating in the dual format pattern. Dual solution emphasizes relationship between price of the product and marginal value of the product. So here primal problem here it is specified as maximize z is equal to 30x1, 28x2, 26x3. So this is again in the objective function row. Objective function row is in the primal problem 30x1, 28 is 26. It has now become the BI value, BI coefficient. These 30, 28, 26 are now entered in the dual problem as a BI values. You understand? These BI values are entered in the objective function here. 5, 180, 50, they are entered here. 5, 180, 50. But here they are called as X3. Here in the deep problem, decision variables are here X is specified by crop activities. Here Y is specified as a Y variable is specified as a cost problem, dual problem. So like that, here non-negativity considered is y1, y2, y3 is all is greater than symbol. Here also greater than symbol. But in the constraints here is specified here less than equal to all constraints. First land constraint, labor constraints, and then capital constraints are all specified is less than here, but here greater than equal to. So this is the problem. But whatever we can solve the model by converting primal problem into dual problem and get the same solution, and dual problem into primal problem, get the same solution. Either of them should be used, but not both. Both are not necessary. Primal problem can be converted into dual problem, and then problem is solved. Dual problem can be converted, but procedure followed here is same. So like that, it is very important to know these things. Procedural pattern in the model. If you are aware, then all problems will not be there. So here it is converting the dual formulas. Examples is given here. So here what is called AIJ matrix is a resource level, BI level. BI level is given here 30, which are the objective coefficients are here. They are turned into resource coefficients, input coefficients, input supplies. These are called as input supplies. That is 30, 28, 26. These are the AIJ coefficients. AIJ coefficients also are the coefficients in the rows. They are in the maximization 1, 1, 1. It is now, it is row is becoming column here. You understand? So here 1, 1, 1, 1 we have put. Objective function value here, it is either there, it is a resource level columns, resource supplies are now it is specified as rows. So here disposal activities, there in the maximization +1 are indicated in the diagonal corner, but here -1 is indicated. Here all resource net price row zeros are indicated. M is a big positive number is indicated. Capital M, maximum number. So here under artificial variables, the in the dual problem, they are indicated with the what is called 1, 1, 1. So to convert into less than equal to into, we require addition of disposable activities, artificial variables to make them into equality constraints. So like that here, disposal activities, artificial activities are added to the problem in order to make all constraints into equality constraint. But in maximization problem, we have added only disposable activities, disposal activities. But in the dual problem, we are adding two activities, that is extra disposal activities as well as artificial activities. Disposal activities are indicated with minus sign in the diagonal matrix. Here plus sign with the under artificial variable diagonal elements in the diagonal. This is diagonal elements. 111 is indicated. So that is about all the problem. Procedure followed, simplex method is followed to solve this problem as indicated in the procedure. But instead of positive number like that, there is a procedural changes will be there. It's slightly different, but most of them will be. So here equality constraints, real activities means decision variable matrix, maximum restraints, minimum restraints. Maximum restraints are considered in a dual problem, minimum restraints are considered in the primal problem. Okay. So crop production activities, livestock activities, transfer activities, shell activities, transfer activities, we have put minus 0, 0 in the objective function, plus 1 in the AIJ matrix. So like that, buying means minus sign in the objective function, AIJ matrix minus. Buying, purchasing, borrowing, all the three names imply the same thing, for which the price of the activity or resource indicated with the minus sign. Harvesting activities is like fixed cost activity, family living expense. So like that model could be developed based on different needs of the farmers. Model also gives directly demand coefficients and supplies. So it gives both solutions, that is how to estimate demand for resources, demand for output can be converted, can be directly achieved, can be quantified or measured in terms of units for both crops, products as well as resource levels. So quantification will be there. So like that, different procedures are followed to solve these problems. When too many activities are intended in the models, then the framework of the model also will not follow the linear programming models. Different models are searched in order to suit the convenience of the activities and resources. So when too many resources, too many crop activities make the model complicated and in the framework. So when they are reduced in a proper form, so different models by economists search for different models to adapt to different levels of resource use and crop use. అర్థమైంది కదా? So here that is called different procedural methods. One is called as sensitivity analysis. That is this is also known as parametric programming. Second procedure is variable price programming. This is another method like simplex method. Variable price programming, variable resource programming, normative crop planning under credit supply, crop planning under risk. Like that, different situations are there. Under this, the framework of the model will not follow the linearity, the LP model. Different framework is given, model is solved, and decision problem is also exactly identified. Precise solution is obtained by solving the framework, by following the framework, and then working out and incorporating the realistic coefficients in the model. So what is important is realistic coefficients are worked out and placed in the framework of the relevant model to give a precise solution to the problems under different crop environment. So here is MOTAD model is a risk programming model. MOTAD model So MOTAD model assumes what is called linearity assumption. Hence, this model can be solved by using LP algorithm. But framework is different here. So what we use is here deviation or risk matrix is indicated. The gross margins are worked out here, similar to the earlier problem. Gross margins means gross income minus variable cost. Variable cost includes what? Labor cost to material cost. Okay. So gross margins for 7 years are worked out, commencing from the 85 to 91. And so here gross margins are worked out for unit area per hectare of the crop, and they are placed in the matrix. Their mean value is worked out. All the 7 figures are worked out, and average value is worked out. For the X1 activity, the average gross margin is 66.54. So 66.54 is the mean value for X1 activity groundnut. For X2 activities, these gross margins are placed for 7 years. Then all these are added, and then total is found, divided by 5, 7, will get a mean value 72.34. For similarly, all are added, then divided by 7, mean value is worked out and placed in here 47.64 is the mean value for crop activity paddy IR. Paddy IET, gross margins are worked out, and they are all are added, and then total is divided by 7, mean value is adapted, and it is seen as here. In this case, mean value is 52.64. Similarly, here the mean value for livestock jersey cow is average is worked out, and it is placed here 38.11 for jersey cow in 100 rupees, 1000 rupees. Here buffalo, it is 31.31. This is the mean profit for the each two livestock activity. Here all these are added, total is found out, divided by number of years. Number of years here is 7. 85, 1, 2, 3. So 7 years data is considered. Hence total value is all are added, total values are obtained, and mean values are. Now from this mean value, individual values are subtracted, and then deviation matrix or risk matrix, which is called as MOTAD matrix. Minimization of MOTAD means expansion, minimization of total absolute deviation model. So the deviation matrix is considered here as a constraint here and placed here. The mean gross margin levels are considered here and placed here. This is called parametric consider, and y1111 is a deviation variable, is considered with a plus once. Objective function under crop activities, zeros are present because we are minimizing the risk, means zeros should be placed in the objective function. Minimize z value. So parametric different levels are assumed, say 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, like that. Lambda value assumes here different level. For each lambda value, the optimal farm plans are worked out. These plans become risky plans. This is what is specified under capital constraints of the motor risk model. This is called very famous model. It is found out by Hegel. This is MOTAD model. Most of the at PhD level, this model solved and degrees were obtained. The operation research models are used, and PhD degrees are awarded. Hence, it is very, very important from the academic point of view, from the efficiency point of view, and all these plans are very, very important, and particularly to minimize the cost, because farmers always, whatever may be technology and all, though we may not bother about the cost of the technology, but farmer is very cautious in adapting the technology suitable to him. He will weigh the technology in terms of cost and profit. If the cost is minimized and profit is more, then only farmer is ready to accept the new technology. Otherwise, he will throw it in the dustbin. So to make the farm plan so easily adaptable by the farmer, what is important is we have to provide him with a good farm plan which minimizes costs and which are best suited to the farmer's environment. So that is what farmer is doing. That should also be considered. What the research is doing, that should be also be considered while formulating a efficient models. And then once it is done with correct data and all, then it should go to the farmers to write extension agencies for transfer of farm plans for adoption plan. So thank you for everybody. Thank you every participant of the today's already my time given to me is over, and so if any question is there, I welcome you from the participants. And this is this programming model based on the models and all know so many machines have been invented. Don't think that the models are useless and all, and they require they cannot be solved manually, because every program now it is readily available and it is solved using the computer. All programming models are solved by what you have to take importance is framework of the model should be kept in view, and data correct getting correct data from research from the farmer and use it for application. So then once model is solved, this can be easily transferred to the farmers for adoption. So like that, what is required is here. Models, all models are cannot be solved manually, only with the help of packages and programs we can. So knowledge regarding the framework of the model is very much required to the teachers and students in order to disseminate the knowledge. And once this is done, we will be efficient in the production of crop and livestock research. We will be efficient. The cost efficiency is achieved only when cost is minimized. Production efficiency is achieved only when crop production is efficiently produced. What does it mean? That means maximum profit. Production efficiency is by maximizing profit, production efficiency is obtained. By minimizing the cost efficiency is obtained. Consumer is said to be efficient when he minimizes the cost, getting maximum satisfaction. Farmer is said to be in efficiency only when he maximizes profit. So like that, many rules, guiding principles are available in economists. Thanks to economists, they are giving they have made a lot of research in this direction and all. So if everybody follows this knowledge and all and put them into practice, only when it is adapted and practiced, then everything will be set right. Then survey jana sukhino bhavan. Thank you very much for getting and all. Now we are in the crisis period. Now I welcome the questions from participants. If I know the answer, I will give. If I don't know the answer, I will say promptly I don't know. Because it is humanly impossible for any single person to know all the things and all. So excuse me for if any wrong information is given by me. Maybe participant also are well educated and all. There may be so many flaws are there. Knowledge is not absolute, only relative. Whatever I know, I have told you. So please excuse me if any errors is committed by me in doing in explaining you things properly. If it is not understood and all, I have already written 2 books. You can refer to them and then clarify this thing. And I will give my address, phone numbers, etc. Whenever you get free and all, you can ask me. I am ready to help. Because every teacher, whether he is retired or in profession, his duty is to serve the people with the knowledge and skill and expertise. Whatever knowledge, whatever skill, it should be disseminated, it should be propagated, then only everybody becomes aware of it. It should not be kept to for personal development. Economic development is more important. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
So we kindly request all the participants, if you have any questions, sir is here to answer you. Please pose your questions. If not, you can even type in the chat box also. Anything related to agricultural economics and ORM and operations research management in agriculture, you can get them clarified with the guest speaker today.
Yeah, this topic belongs to agricultural economics as in the course of business management, agri-business management. This is one of the course indicated in the agri-business operation research techniques. We are teaching at the MSc level. In the BSc level also one course is there in the final year, that is agri-business management. In the syllabus it is indicated about the applications of operations research techniques. That's why, and so it is for at graduate level, postgraduate level, PhD level, postdoctoral level also. These technologies very, methodologies are very important. They are being told and continuous. There is continuous process, teaching and research. It is going on.
Any questions, Andy? It seems there are no questions from their end, sir. So even as sir has mentioned, if you have any further questions also, sir will be happy to assist you. And sir has written 2 books also. You can even refer to them. So thanks a lot for the session, sir. Now I'd like to request our business manager, Dr. M. Naresh Reddy, to propose formal vote of thanks. Is it audible, Naresh? Dr. Naresh Reddy, is it audible?
Yes.
So I think he's not there, sir. So we at ANGRAU Poshan Incubator would like to thank uh, our guest speaker today. Sir, thanks a lot, sir, for sparing your time and sharing your valuable inputs and experiences. We also would like to thank our honorable Director of Research, Madam Dr. L. Prashanti, Madam, for sparing her time and for her inputs and addressing the gathering today. And we also would like to thank our Associate Director of Research, Sir, Dr. P. Rajshekhar, Sir, for sparing his time and addressing the gallery. We once again would like to thank all the participants and thanks for your valuable inputs, sir. And we also would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for like in-time acceptance, approvals, and continual support to organize all the national webinars like this, which would really help them. So, yeah, this is a series of webinars we are going to organize on the event of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahostav. We also have two more upcoming webinars which we would be circulating to you all. We would like to have all of you to the upcoming webinars also, which would really help you in your entrepreneurial journey and to improve your subject also. So with this, we'd like to thank each and every participant who made this a great success. So with this, we'd like to conclude and call it up for the day. This is Lakshmi Tulasi, Assistant Business Manager, ANGRAU Poshan Incubator, signing off. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you.